Hey, good day, family. How are you guys? Hit me up in the chat. Let me know that you guys can hear me. I'm going to make sure that I can see your comments in the AMA chat. I know you guys have been waiting for this, and we are excited too. So, Mr. Mohawk, if you could send me just a message that you guys are hearing me, because I am not seeing the text channel that we normally have in here for questions. So normally we just do our AMAs on Discord, but it sounds like we have a YouTube audience today. Welcome, YouTubers. We love you. I'm glad to have you here. Today we want to talk about Skeleton Kings. We want to talk about tokens, and generally we want to be available to answer the questions that you have. I know you guys want to know about metacrystals. We're going to talk about that. And of course, we have a ton of stuff up our sleeve that we'll be dropping today, and also foreshadowing some future events as well. With that being said, why don't I just jump on in here, and give you guys a little bit of the lay of the land. We did drop tokens on Giving Tuesday. We dropped a billion to charity. We did complete our giving in the sense that we did get all 1 billion tokens out, 100 million tranches to 10 qualified charities that we vetted for not only their 501c3s, of course, an organizational structure, but making sure that they had a history of impact and a solid dollar for dollar impact. They also, many of them went through additional screenings with our charity giving partner that we partnered with a bit in the beginning, Parachute, and then we actually took that to a second layer and vetted even more. We did get them all set up with multi-signature wallets, so we feel that they have safe custodianship of those assets. And at that point, we'll be introducing them into our community as the next month into roll out our decentralized exchange, where we can provide a platform for people who want to get these tokens directly from the charities. We think that's a really beautiful move. We love the community's support in doing that. Want to talk about the usefulness of these tokens, though. We did drop 100,000 per zombie on each zombie on Tuesday. We did take a one-time capture and 1 second early on Tuesday morning that allowed us to take one grab of all the owners of zombies and skeleton keys, and we used that master list, minted directly to wallets, 100,000 a zombie, as well as 200,000 a skeleton key. That was executed pretty much flawlessly. We were very pleased with how quickly our scripts and execution ran. There are issues with OpenSea, as you know. It's not going to show your tokens. We've had issues in updating our metadata. And heck, while I'm throwing them under the bus, why not mention we've had an issue getting verified with thousands and thousands of dollars going into fake collections because of whatever bureaucracy over there at OpenSea that's fairly unresponsive. We have no clue what that's about. So that's fine. We can't wait to hear back from them. We're pushing every which angle. If you guys want to go ahead and just tag them at them and blow them up, let's do it. I think we should. But we're not going to wait any longer. I mean, we do have major discussions with all kinds of exchanges, both on the marketplace for NFTs side and future near-term possibilities there. They're very exciting, as well as our own. So let me just tell you what I mean. We were already working on this decentralized exchange, and we've already been working on our mint-gated platform, which I'll get into in a little bit, which we're going to give you guys exposure to for the crystal reveal. And then we're also going to continue to use it moving forward. But while we were at it, we thought we'd just set up a marketplace that you guys could actually view your collections and continue to add material there. We will still be hosted on OpenSea and other exchanges and marketplaces, but giving you guys a access point for you guys to view your collections and understand what you have with us at all times, have correct traits displayed, things like that, because there's nothing that we can do to force OpenSea to update their metadata. That I think they're just overwhelmed with 500 new projects a week coming on right now. And so we have the devs and the team, so we just went ahead and built it. We'll be revealing that to you guys Tuesday, is the plan. We were shooting for Monday to do your Metacrystal flip, which originally we weren't necessarily going to do it on our own platform. We were going to have it reveal within OpenSea, but then it's going to be a poor look on our dev team when OpenSea doesn't correctly update their metadata or any other number of issues that we've seen on the platform. And so we'll just handle that internally. On Tuesday, you will go to billionaireZombies.com, all you Metacrystal owners, and you will actually be able to firstly, you can view your collection. You'll be able to see, the zombies that you have, the skeleton key cards that you have, as well as the metacrystals. And then you can take your metacrystal into our minting engine and mint out whatever that metacrystal will reveal for you. Now, these metacrystals the card itself will be burned and replaced with the asset that will be randomly revealed to you based on our algorithms. These assets could include things like real property, like a castle or a house or something like that. It also could, uh, you know, just want to make sure because I'm getting calls from my team. Can I just get a message that you guys can hear me and I am not talking to myself here? Man, I don't like the team changing up our town hall every single time. I would really like to just stay on Discord and force the real community to get involved in the community on Discord. Okay, I'm getting texts that you can hear. That's good. So anyhow, we're going to stay on Discord because that's where we're really at, and everybody can continue to collaborate and build team here. But we're going to give the rest of the world a chance to get in early by getting out on things like YouTube and Twitter and everything else. While I'm on that, let me just take a quick second to explain. We get a lot of pushback on things like roadmap or explaining in announcements different metrics. We are moving so quickly that instead of filling you full of empty promises about the metaverse we're creating or what we're going to do like everybody else, and you sit on your hands waiting for us to deliver, we'd like to continue to surprise and delight our community with exceptional delivery, both in terms of quality and timing. And so we aren't going to be able to outline every little step of the way for you. You're going to see it and have it in your hands, this month. So that's where we're going. I'm not saying that our full scale rollout will be done this month. It might be 6 months, right? But you guys are going to be tasting, touching, feeling the reality that we're building at every step of this way. So we appreciate your guys' continued trust as we build it in what we actually do, so you don't have to just rely on what we say, because we think that the majority of these projects are making large claims without any substance to deliver, whereas we're the exact opposite. We'd like to deliver and just keep you guys wondering how the heck we did this. Well, this is the culmination of many, many years of work for a number of us coming together into one masterful moment and one opportunity in time. And we are so excited to have you guys early here with us. So let's talk about what that is. Firstly, we've got a game. That's really at the end of it. What we're doing here is a social game in the metaverse that we get paid for the value that we create, for the time and attention and effort and energy that we bring, and even for necessarily the relationships and business interactions and things like that. So it's almost a full scale economy within a game if you think about it, where transactions can take place and worlds can be built, businesses and lives, families, tribes. that community. That's what we're building. And it starts off in this magic game of cards, right? Everybody's got their cards. Some are known, like the zombies with rarity that you can go buy your position in this game right now. And some of those are unknown, like the metacrystals, which will yet to be revealed, or maybe the skeleton key cards, which are yet to unlock future assets like the skeleton kings and their rarity reveals and things like that. So right now we're playing this game of cards that's quickly going to come to life in the metaverse. And when I say quickly, I was just touring our 3D engine and, blowing up zombies from cars and, just rocket launchers and handguns and you name it. Okay. In a very smooth, very beautiful 3D experience that, first person or third person view. I mean, you name it, that's where we're at this point. However, we are not going to rush entrance into this experience or the release of this game because we think it's ultra critical that we have our scalability, infrastructure, and security buttoned down, and there's nothing that would allow us to compromise on any of those fronts. So we're going to continue to aggressively test and build out on that side. However, that does not mean that we can't give you guys a taste. And so what we'd like to do is at the Skeleton King Mint, we'd like to give for Skeleton Key holders the opportunity who pass through our Mint Gate, which means that you'll connect with your MetaMask to our billionairezombies.com website. And if you own a Skeleton Key card, you'll be able to you can't hold me to this. We have to do it in a mass source code way and in a stripped down source code way so we don't give any of our IP away to the competition who would love to have a 3D engine like ours. So we'll be stripped back and hopefully masked. And if we can pull it off, we'd like you to have an entrance into our world, just a quick peek. I mean, we have worlds upon worlds and games upon games built already and tourable. But we just want to give you guys a stripped down taste, at which point at the end of this experience, you would be able to mint your Skeleton King, which is going to be an incredible day, guys. December 15th is a day you definitely want to mark on your calendar in terms of our roadmap. We have all kinds of fun and little surprises. Oh, trust me, it's going to be delightful. Planned for December 15th. So, guys, lots in the works. Not everything can be, foretold. But it is very exciting, and we just are thrilled to be on this journey and ride with you guys. In terms of the Kings, I think there are a lot of details that we'll want to cover, but I want to bridge back to the metacrystals real quickly. Because one of the purposes in this metacrystal reveal event, which is targeting Tuesday, and we feel pretty confident that we can deliver on Tuesday, is going to be, the first time that we open up billionairezombies.com portal for minting, and we will be making sure that our minting process is bulletproof and that, it will be a fair mint and in every way. And it's very important that we live test this with our community beyond all the internal testing that's going on right now, which is 100% really at this point why we've pushed from Monday to Tuesday, just to make sure we're bulletproof. But it will also be a test for the Skeleton King Mint to make sure that our rarity and all of our fairness is preserved for people in the community, as well as demonstrating, the first view of our marketplace. Of course, UI, UX, and functionality will continue to get rolled out. We're not going to allow buying and selling on our marketplace on Tuesday. It will just be a viewing gallery. But we do want to, eventually get to the point where you guys can actually interact there at a much smoother experience, a much quicker, simpler experience, and also quite a bit cheaper, we're hoping, than the options that are currently available to you guys. So that's where we're going with this thing. And what we're going to have you guys do is we're simply going to have you guys basically mint for 100 tokens with your metacrystal, whatever asset you randomly generate. Okay, we wanted to set this at basically a nominal amount to begin with, just so that you guys can have the interaction, have the experience, and the practice of using our engine. It also is our first utility for the token. We establish our communal usefulness for this thing starting on Tuesday. And then at the 15th, that's when we'll have proven our test that everything has worked correctly and there are no bugs or kinks or exposures to us. And then that's when we'll roll out December 15th, these Skeleton Kings. So I did want to talk about Skeleton Kings and answer questions. So as questions come in, can I get Mohawk, can I have you start posting questions that are coming up so I can make sure that I have a clear order of what I want to hit? But on the Skeleton Kings, the main metrics, people do ask a lot about some really basic questions. Firstly, I'd encourage everyone to join our Discord, where there is a vibrant community that is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week active, answering questions and correcting misunderstandings, where you can even get in touch with the leadership. I do respond to, so far, every DM that I have received, every single one of those. And so that's definitely an avenue. You can always join our community and get involved. That would probably be the best way to get involved and stay up to date. But we also do have an announcement section. And in the announcement section, I clearly outline the summary of our AMAs and some of the detailed points, but I'll just hit some of those again. So the skeleton keys will unlock the ability to mint one skeleton king for 250,000 tokens on December 15th. That skeleton king is going to have rarity and is going to be a voting member of the DAO, which ultimately is going to direct the treasury, which, as you can see, has a percentage of transactions coming from the token, as well as many other financial engines within our utility token system. Things like pricing mechanics on the games, reward structures. Heck, you could burn tokens, you can mint tokens, never more than our 10 billion supply because we're capped. But we will have one more drop before we hand over the keys, which will put us just under, I believe, half of our supply dropped to our community, with our initial 10% having been essentially given away to charity, with our 1 billion going to charity on Giving Tuesday. But the remainder will be up to the discretion of the DAO in terms of rollout. And, really, I think that one of the most powerful parts of that is, given the amount of control in pricing and in economics, when you understand what we're really building in terms of a 3D metaverse engine and world, I think it's really, really exciting. Because when you think about this is a first experiment in this world with this engine. We have offers all the time to be building adjacent worlds. I mean, literally every day. And at whatever point in time that becomes appropriate, we can simply add worlds adjacent to ours and charge them a server maintenance fee at the top, or a percentage of transactions within their ecosystem, which ultimately will be powered by both our engine and paid for in our utility token. So that's a little bit about where we're going from pretty high view. I did want to answer specific questions, so I see some coming in here. Can the team explain the process for minting metacrystals? Yes, so this is going to be simple. You're just going to log into billionairezombies.com. You will be able to see your collection, so you'll see how many metacrystals that you have. And then you can log in and you can mint. I believe it's going to be limited to one at a time to continue to re-roll rarity so that we don't have any snipeability in the project. But one at a time, you'll be minting your metacrystals. There will be potentially a 30-second or 1 minute delay before reveal. These are a part of our measures that we're using to maintain fairness and protect our mint. And shortly thereafter your mint, you should see in your collection on our site your new asset, which could be a number of different things. We haven't released all of those. Some of those have been seen, whether it's a horse or you saw the heart. That would be like a health boost. And we'll go over all of those after they've been released. We want to leave a little bit of surprise and fun for you guys in that reveal process. Although we have been, trying to give you guys some tastes along the way. So it should be a pretty straightforward process. We can't commit to the time yet because until we have a double green light from our dev team, we can't commit. But the plan is Tuesday. I would anticipate that not to be in the morning. That will probably be a Tuesday. Mid afternoon would be more realistic in our target. Another game would be console. It is a little early to talk about the console because I don't want to pigeonhole us and limit where we can go. But I will say at the high level that it is web based. So because it's web based, that gives us a lot of flexibility. We can be on apps, we can move to console, but as a base, we have our web based platform. And that engine then can be ported to other devices, consoles. But for us, we want to make sure that whether you're at a desktop or handheld, that you can have a great play experience. And this web-based platform is going to accomplish that for us. Okay, when will we be able to exchange tokens through BZC? So we're targeting, the the token drop was something we had to do before bringing the tokens into the game because you guys need those tokens to play the game. You also need the tokens to mint within our ecosystem because we are a closed loop ecosystem that operates on our utility token. We're not asking you guys for money. If you didn't notice, we are asking you guys for our utility tokens that we already gave you and are going to continue to give for a minute here. So building truly in our ecosystem. But we could not put out an exchange for these tokens or any off ramps or on ramps before that utility and usefulness and purpose was functional. So we're testing that utility on Tuesday when you log in and mint and pay 100 tokens. So you will need your tokens in the same wallet as your metacrystals. So you can go ahead and sort that out now. And it's a simple transfer process. It's wallet to wallet, almost no gas fees. I mean, less than a cent typically, and so that's a pretty easy process. But that begins our real usefulness and will continue to grow in utility through the 15th and beyond. After the 15th is when we would feel comfortable to actually make live our decentralized exchange where our charitable partners will make that liquidity pools of our tokens available to our community. We are not committed to the 15th. That day is plenty full on our calendar, so it might be the 20th. I will like to celebrate the holidays a little bit, so maybe we can get it out of the way before then. But we have not committed to a date on that. But it is something that we see the need for in the near term. It's something that isn't far away as far as the tech. Of course, we need to make sure that it's bulletproof, security, scalability, and infrastructure and testing really being the point we're at with all of our technology at this point. So we'll commit a time when we're ready on that one, but it isn't terribly far away. Will there be play to earn tokens or in ETH or Poly? Yeah, all of our play will be paid in our utility tokens and will pay in our utility tokens. If people want to interact, into other ecosystems or tokens, then that's not something necessarily I can control, but it isn't going to happen necessarily within our game, especially not in the near term, because that's not what we're doing. We are building a game with an in-game token, and it also has purposes in our ecosystem of art and the game of cards within our NFTs. So that's the use for our tokens. Let's see. Yes, we will be using tokens for all minting of all assets. So every time you mint an asset that's going to be used in a game, if it's a Skeleton King or if it's a metacrystal, which is going to randomly generate an asset for you,
it is going to have a cost. So in the future, something we could do is like if you own some land in our game, then you could build potentially, this isn't going to be at our first iteration, but you could build a fortress or your own house or a place of business or an art gallery to display your NFTs or whatever you social club, whatever you'd like to build. And you could potentially buy this element. So you could buy a social club from maybe another member, or maybe you could mint it as a built asset from our team that's in our exchange or marketplace. Or you could build your own. So you could, like Roblox style, build your own castle or your own house or your own business. But in order to do that, you would need to build with the building blocks and the assets. And any asset that is going to come from our system is going to be purchased in our utility token. That's how our system works, and we're going to test that out with you guys. I wanted to keep the prices really fair. If you look at anyone who has a zombie, they have 100,000 tokens. Anyone who has a metacrystal had a zombie at one point, so they should have 100,000 tokens. Or they would need to find them, to get there to be a part of the system and be able to use them so that they could mint. And that will not only establish our utility, which is a very important milestone for us, but it will also be testing our protocols and make sure that everything runs smoothly before we hit our higher value item with the Skeleton Kings. We did the math. We made sure that everyone would have plenty to play the game, to mint out of our system all of the assets that they need based on our drop size, with plenty to spare. It's not a completely inconsequential number, but when you look at the scale of what we've dropped on you guys, we feel like that 100 mark for the reveal is very appropriate. Priced for now, and again in the future, the Skeleton Kings could change those prices at the Skeleton Kings Council come January. So I would definitely mint before that council your metacrystals. I would not sit on that one. I would get that done. Same with your one-time 250,000 mint on your Skeleton Kings. Those will be limited windows that once the Skeleton Kings Council has reset prices in January, those prices will change. So make sure you take advantage of that. Because again, these are all free gifts. If you guys remember, the only thing that happened was Axeman minted out a zombie collection. Everything that's happened since then has been a free gift to you guys. Nobody has sent us an Ethereum in exchange for an NFT, a picture, or a promise. We've just been airdropping new assets and tokens and NFTs on you guys and continuing to roll out that value. So we hope you enjoy the ride. We have some amazing things in store for you. And one of those things will be continued reveals of the tech. So you don't have to take my word for it. Things like videos. Guys, the game I just played today and demoed was far too good to not show you guys. There's nothing to hide here. We can't expose our code, so we really need to continue to keep it under wraps for a while until we've really built up that security. But we definitely want to get you guys to demo this. So even if you guys wanted us, we could build a custom little world for a demo. If you guys had an idea of what kind of land you'd want to be. I mean, I saw him. We swam. We ran through the jungle. We all kinds of things, launched off at launch pads, shot up the city, blew up the zombies. Guys, I can't wait to get you there. So we got to give you guys some samples. But again, don't think that you're going to be in a MMORPG live multiplayer format in the next 2 months. You're not going to be. We'll have some limited releases along the way. We'll have some 1v1, maybe come sooner than later. Like we said, having a first iteration of the game in a play to earn format, pay to play, play to earn format as early as January. I can't even make any sort of claims on when our full scale game will be released. But what I can say is, based on what I saw, I think that I'd be happy to go next week if it weren't for security and infrastructure. But more realistically, with all of the 3D animation and all of the assets that we will continue to build, it's more likely to be well into the summer. But you never know. We seem to over deliver and surprise. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and we'll keep our heads down and work really hard towards that. Um, Hit a few more questions before I jump today. And if you guys don't want this to be a short AMA, you guys are going to want to send some more questions in, because we definitely can get back to work. Um, what are the best assets you can get? The castle. The castle is the rarest asset. I'll just tell you right now. There is a subsect of assets that I haven't mentioned yet. So we're just keeping a few little things. We do like surprises. So we're not going to tell you everything. Yes, if you get a house or a castle, that you will get the land to put it on. Okay, that is going to include land. So that's that. Okay, so we got that one. All right. That's probably all the questions I'm going to take right now. Oh no. And Discord didn't hear anything. So YouTube, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It sounds like everyone is going to have to go find it on YouTube, and I'm going to cut it short and go hang out with my friends in Discord, and we hope you guys join soon.